So today's webinar, I'm going to start with an introduction to Count on Numeracy. Then at strategic points during the presentation, we will stop. And if you have any questions, then you can do that through the chat box. And the whole thing will last approximately 30 minutes. I will say that if I get carried away and talk for a long time, then you can stop me. I will be keeping an eye on the time. Okay, so let me tell you first of all what today's seminar is going to consist of. We will have a very quick look at what is numeracy. We will look at how it's different from maths. We will look at the features and the benefits of Count On. We will look at the components. We will look at the scope and sequence. We will do a unit walkthrough, and that will include the teacher's book as well, because it's very important here. And then I will give you an Ekit demonstration. And then we will finish up with question and answers if you have any. So let's have a little look at the difference between maths and numeracy. So maths is the study of numbers, quantities, and geometry, whereas numeracy is the ability to use all of these, the numbers, the quantities, the maths, geometry, in everyday life and everyday situations. Numeracy shows the relationship between numbers, shapes, size, patterns, time, position, measurement. I'm sure there are others. And why is it important? Numeracy is important for everyday life skills. The children need to learn these from a very early age, and it will help them with things like cooking and reading recipes and instructions, understanding timetables, making comparisons, the ability to order the events, to go shopping. And again, this list will be endless, you can imagine. Now, we will have a quick look at the general features and the benefits of the course. The first one, and I think this is a very important one, is it was created by an early years and maths expert. And this means that, let's have a look here, sorry, that the content is in line with the different stages of the children's cognitive development. The children are not going to be asked to do something that they don't have the cognition yet to be able to do that. The author is Rebecca Corden, and she has been involved in early years, foundation and maths for more than 20 years. It uses elements from play-based learning approaches. And this means that it's more effective, the children learn more easily, and it's more enjoyable for them. It contains exciting and inspiring teaching material. Okay, the benefit is obvious for this. The children will be motivated to develop their numeracy skills. And it uses high quality images and printed materials. So as well as being motivated, they will also enjoy this. It will be a much more enjoyable teaching and learning experience for them. There are more here. This contains week by week lesson organization, and we'll go into this a little bit more, which means that it allows for more effective lesson timetabling for the teacher. You won't have to spend hours and hours working out how this is going to fit into your curriculum. It uses resources already found in early year classrooms. So there's no need for teachers to be constantly making or sourcing new materials. You will see when we look at a page from the teacher's book that lists the resources, you will have all of these already in your classrooms. There is a comprehensive and highly supportive teacher's guide. We all know how busy teachers are. So this means that you can spend less time on lesson planning and searching for additional activities. So you can actually think about what you're going to teach without having to work out how to do it, what activities you can do with the children. And in the teacher's book, there are built-in assessment questions at the end of every unit. So teachers can easily get an accurate picture of their students' progress. It has a number of questions. We will look at those as well that you can ask. And we have the Ekit for front of use class, which facilitates an e-learning classroom and provides interactive activities. And we will do a demonstration of this, and you will see how you can use this if you do remote teaching as well. The components. There's student book, okay, for sharing with children during teaching and consolidation. There's the workbook that provides the children with extra activities. They can do it themselves. It can be guided by adults. The teacher's guide, as I mentioned, this has full lesson plans and ideas for consolidation and independent learning. And the Ekit for front of class use. This gives you additional resources and activities, and it includes all of the components: the student's book, the workbook, the teacher's guide, and the Ekit. Now, before we have a look here, does anybody have any questions at this point?
No, I'm okay. I'm fine. No questions so far.
Okay.
We're okay with it.
Okay. If you have any more, we can have a look at these at the end. Okay, so I'll go back to this. Okay, so we're just going to have a little look at the first level here. This is the scope and sequence of level 1. Let's have a little look at the topics here. These are topics that the children will be able to identify with. It will make them feel comfortable. Unit 1 is animals, my family. Unit 3 is food. Who doesn't like that? Transport. Unit 5 is toys and games. And the last one here is kings and queens and fairy stories. Now, the organization of this, as you see, there are 6 units, and each unit is divided into 6 weeks. The week 6 is the assessment week here. So this gives you some kind of flexibility. You can decide according to your curriculum and how many teaching hours you have, weeks you have in the year, and how many hours you have in your weeks to decide how you're going to do this. Just give you a quick minute to have a little look. For some reason, this has got stuck. Okay, now this is just an example from the first unit, okay, and the first lesson. You'll see here that the first lesson has 6 pages. They're just dealing with the numbers, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 0. This has 6 pages, the first lesson. The second lesson has 2 pages because there is more for them to do on each of the pages. So when you actually get to have a look at these books, when you have the books in your hands, don't be confused that the units and the lessons don't have exactly the same number of pages. It will depend very much on the content and how the content is going to be taught. Unit 1, lesson 3, this one has 4 pages. You can see it deals with the different shapes. This is my favorite one from Unit 1, mainly because I like the colors and I like the sharks here. On the left-hand side that you're looking at is the page from the from the student's book, and the other side is a page from the workbook. And all of the student's book is supported by workbook pages. This one is, Unit 2, okay, Lesson 2. And here the children have learnt already. They've learnt the numbers, and now you can see that they're actually starting to, right from Unit 2, to apply their knowledge of the numbers to everyday life. And they can see here what they're doing with coins and notes, what they do with money, and then where do you see money? Okay, we have the cash machine, supermarket, a market, a shop. So it's applying their knowledge to everyday situations that they will be familiar with. In the same lesson, they have a visit to a shop, okay, and it's about ice cream here. So now they've learnt a little bit about money. They've already learnt about the numbers. Now they're looking here to see what they can actually do with it. Spending and buying ice cream. Don't worry about the prices here. I don't think even in the UK that ice cream is that expensive. We're going to have a little look through now the teacher's book. And when you open the teacher's book, this is the first page that you will see. We will look at each section in detail here. Okay, the first section are the learning objectives. So this tells you exactly, all right, what the aims are for this. You can see here, count up to 9, coins, notes, recognize local currency, recognize numerals. The second part is about the resources required. And if you have a look here, it doesn't ask you to make very much. You will, most early years classrooms will have most of these things in here. If you don't have them, it's easy to bring them in. You don't have to sit and create and draw and color and print materials. They're things that are used already in the classroom. The next part is the assessment key. Now, all of these activities in the teacher's book have advice on how to deal with the different levels that your students are. So we have 3 of them. We've got approaching level, on level, and challenge. And as we go through the teacher's book, you will see that there are instructions, ideas, hints as to what to do with children who are at each of these levels. And this key appears all the time so that you actually know what you're doing. And then there are different types of activities, and this is the activity key here. It gives you, there are 3. There's the whole class learning, there's group learning, and then there's individual learning. So all the activities are labeled with the assessment keys, the different types of things, and the different types of activities. You have a list of the key concepts here, the key vocabulary, and the tips for successful teaching and learning. I'll go on now to the next slide. It then tells you for the assessment criteria here what the children should be able to do. And again, this is split up into the 3 levels, the approaching, the on level, and the challenge. The next page that you get is a page of the core input activities. There are 5 of these for each week. There are thumbnail images in the teacher's book, so you know where they are in the student's book. And They're complete with assessment and activity key references. As I said before, you can see on the page, it's got the symbols for the different levels of activities and the different types of activities. And that makes it much easier for you to actually organize the lessons and what you're teaching. And this key, this system, the language used is easy to follow for all adults in the classroom. Now, this is just an example here of one of the activities here, the first one. You can have a little look. We've got the thumbnail here, and then it gives you instructions as to actually what to do. The second page for each unit are the consolidation activities. So each week again has a variety of consolidation activities. These are designed to be monitored and led by an adult. It gives you suggestions for resources, and again it has the complete with the assessment and activity key references. And again, it's easy to follow for all the adults in the classroom. This is a close-up of one of the activities. So this is the fourth one with the workbook, shopping with coins. I'll give you a minute just to look at that. Then the next page in the teacher's book is the one that has a list of structured play activities. So again, each week has a choice of a number of structured play opportunities. Again, you can see here you've got the symbols, the type of activities, and the different things to do for each of the levels of your students. And at the bottom, we've got the key assessment questions for observing and monitoring the children's learning. And on the next page, I've got this slightly bigger for you to see. So the key assessment questions here: how much does it cost? How many coins or notes will we need? How can we pay for this? Which items cost more? Which items cost less? What will you buy? And there is an activity here, an example of one of the structured play opportunities, which is shopping in a market stall or on a shop. Then for the assessment, as well as those questions, there are 3 pages in week 6 of revision and assessment activities. You won't be able to see them. There are too many of them here. I haven't made any close-ups of them, but you can see that there are plenty of activities here. Okay, I'm not going to go through level 2 in details with you, but we will just have a look at the scope and sequence here. So again, these are the topics here, the themes are again familiar to the students, but it's taking them a little bit further away from themselves and from their homes. So the first one is their local area, school, holidays, busy days, on the farm, and a fun one here, outer space. And as the students go on through the course, they are learning more.
So how to develop the oral language skills for your preschoolers?
Sorry? Okay, I'm just having a look here, a question. Okay, I've got a question here. Does the food unit include anything about breakfast? I don't know. There was a unit with lots of salads. So maybe we'll have to wait for lunch for that. But sorry, I'm only just having a look at these now. I'm sure there's no coffee there. We need the coffee. Okay, the only problem with money when students of other countries using this unit is it might be irrelevant, or it would be skipped or introduced externally for students using the local currency. The currency that's introduced here, I would say, you can lead in with this as an example, and then you can talk about your own currency. I don't think that it should be, actually create any particular problems here. Okay, I want to move this out of the way. Okay, does anybody have anything else before we go on here? In that case, I will go on. I can. All right. And the last thing I'm going to talk to you about and give you a demonstration is of the Ekit. Now I'm going to stop sharing while I load my version of this, and you can be thinking about maybe any other questions that you might have. So bear with me just for a moment while I change over. Okay, so when you open your Ekit, you will be given an access key to do it. Of course, it recognizes you. You can see my one here that's saying good morning to me. I'm just actually, sorry, I'm going to stop this again because I need to make sure. That I'm going to share the sound on this. Okay, super. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so when you go into your access kit, it welcomes you back. Okay, so good morning, Katie. Let's start anew here. Let's see what it gives us. The first thing it tells you is which level you're on. There is one for level 1 and one for level 2. You can change the background if you like. Let's have a look here. That's the one we're on. Just go through them so you can see. I quite like the black one, but it's not very jolly. Let's go back to the blue one here. And let me just move this over slightly. Can't see. And you will see here at the sidebar, okay, the first thing that we have here are the books. So if I click on this, it gives you a choice of using the student's book, the workbook, the teacher's guide. Let's have a look at the student's book. You can either have single pages or you can have 2 pages together. If you want to move on, you press the arrow down here. Now, I don't like this being in this position. So if we look at the teacher's tools, this one lets me move the page around a little bit. I want it up here. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. And you can write on it. So let's... I'm really not very good at this. My skills are terrible. But let's say you're doing this for students and you want to, I don't know, point at the elephant. You can point at the elephant. And then you want to circle the bear. You can do that. Do something with the monkey. I don't know, maybe you want to look at, count his ears. Say how many ears he's got, 1 or 2. And then when you've had enough of that, you want to get rid of it. You press the eraser and press it again and it goes away. At the bottom here, this is unit 1. Press unit 2, it takes us to unit 2. Okay, all the way through. 4. And then, as we said, to go on, you press the arrows down here. The teacher's guide is available in PDF form. You can download it. I'm not going to show that to you now because we've seen bits of the teacher's book already. We have media here. So these are songs. Let's play you a little song.
2 to the number 2, round the head and a nice straight shoe.
That. We have the sketchboard. Let's say that one of your students asks you, I don't know, or you want, how do you spell elephant or something? I don't know if they do that. Let's have pink here. And so you can write on it. Okay, my skills at this are absolutely terrible. I think probably the children will be able to do better than me. I used to be good at this, working on a whiteboard, but it's been a while since I've done this, as you can see. So let's get rid of it as fast as we can. Okay. And then there are the teacher's tools. So there is a clock and a stopwatch and a timer and a calculator. And if you want to play different sounds of encouragement, we have that too.
Well done. Excellent.
Variety of those. Let's get rid of these now. And here, this is my favorite one. We have the games. I'm just going to mute this because it may interfere with what I'm saying. I was playing with this, and I have to say, I'm sure the children will be better than I was at doing this. I found there were this one, which I really loved, very difficult to do for me. I think the children who have been used to playing games from early on, you have to use the cursor keys up here to move the boat. I can't do it. I'm terrible. Number 4. Where's number 4? Okay. And then down here, I've missed him. I've got number 3 instead. I don't want number 3. Move over. Have I got number 4? Nope. So this will keep I think it'll keep the teachers busy as well, not just the children. Let me show you another one. I found this was very difficult. Now, let's have a look. This one is also another favorite with, you'll see, with balloons. I was looking at this yesterday and I spent quite a long time playing it. Let me show you. So you have to find the number 5 and pop it. And then you have to find number 1. And then are there more number 1s? Where, yes, there are more. It's really quite hard. Okay, and then number 2. Okay, I won't play any longer. I'm sure you've got the idea. There are lots of different activities here. So count the shown items and choose the correct number. Okay, how do they do this? 0, 3, 2, don't know how we do that. And shopping, let's have a look at this. So that's easy. Number 1, you put, oh, yeah, that's correct. And then you can check it. Okay, you've added number 1. The second one, 4. All right, so you just drag and drop these in. If they make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It helps you. 1 more. So let's put the 1 more in. Yay, have we got it? Yes. And we don't want to look at another one. And if you are teaching this remotely, for example, if you have a lockdown, you can, if you have an access key, you can give this to your students so that they can play, which will give them a huge amount of practice at home. Let me just have a look. Have I got questions? Probably. Okay. So as you can see, it's for foundation stage 1 and 2. And the teacher's guide, you can have this in, let me just have a, you can download it as a PDF, so you can use that really easily. So let's go back here. Does anybody have any questions about the Ekit? Or about anything else here? Nope. Okay. So I'm just going to stop this here. And as we said, this was an introduction to this. Don't know if anybody would like to say anything else or ask me anything. I think our time is just about up. Let me have a look. Okay, we can have a look at the second stage, but not here because we don't have time to do it. If you want to, then we can arrange another session for this. I knew that we only had half an hour. Yeah. And while we're doing this, before we finish, I just wanted, let me go back to my PowerPoint at the end here. Sorry, it's going to take some time. Okay, I just wanted also to let you know that we have a, don't want that, sorry guys. Okay, here we are. We have a literacy course, okay, read on. It's Phonics 1 and Phonics 2. So if you might be interested in this, you can find details of it in the catalogue that we have. And also we could do some kind of presentation on this at some point. So I think if there are